In an article published as a Q&A in the New York Times this week, conservative columnist Bret Stephens, a conservative columnist, by the way, keep that in mind. But Mr. Stephens said that Donald Trump has become more, quote, crazy and dangerous as he runs for president for a third time. A conservative columnist is sounding the alarm bells, telling us that Donald Trump is more crazy and dangerous than at any other point of this man's entire political career. And he's not wrong, by the way. Let me read you a little bit more of what Stephens had to say in this Q&A with his own paper. A year ago, Trump had been given up for dead, politically speaking, including, idiotically, by me. He has been indicted in multiple jurisdictions on a variety of charges, some of them dubious, like the payoff to Stormy Daniels, but others very serious, like obstructing an investigation subpoena. He's apologized for nothing. His rhetoric has become more awful, and his message hasn't changed. Yet his dominance over the rest of the Republican presidential field keeps growing, and various polls have him beating Biden in a general election by anywhere from 1 point to 6. That's some kind of dark political magic at work. I wouldn't call it dark political magic. What I would call it is selective amnesia among the electorate, right? It happened with George W. Bush as well. George W. Bush finally left office in January of 2008 when President Biden, or excuse me, it was 2009 when President Obama was sworn in, and he was universally hated. But then a funny thing happened, right? Bush disappears for a couple years. He pops up at football games every now and then. He's doing his little paintings down there in Texas, and suddenly his approval rating starts to go up, 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 up. Same thing happened with Bill Clinton. Same thing happened with H.W. Bush. Same thing happened with Reagan. These people leave office, and whether they stay politically active or not, their approval rating goes up because we're already on to the next guy. And now we got new problems with the next guy. And it suddenly makes you think, well, maybe the previous guy wasn't that bad because we're all consumed with all the drama, all the noise, all the everything else happening with the new guy that we forget about how horrible the old guy was. It is selective amnesia. And the media, by the way, including the New York Times, where Mr. Stephens works, plays a huge role in making that happen. I think if it were to come down to it, even with these polls showing Donald Trump leading Biden today, if the election were held today, I do not think Biden has much to worry about. I really genuinely do not. Maybe I'll be wrong. But what we've seen from these elections, of course, with Democrats winning in races and places that they shouldn't be winning, kind of tells me that the polling is a little off, right? But Mr. Stephens is definitely not wrong about the fact that Donald Trump has become more crazy and more dangerous. He truly has. His rhetoric has become more inflammatory. His, almost calls for violence are becoming more and more clear to his base. His plans for a second term, including invoking the Insurrection Act to basically take over liberal cities, as he told a crowd in Iowa not long ago, those are all real threats. Threats that didn't exist during his first term, but they absolutely exist now. He is a danger. He is a threat to this country. He is a threat to people like me and people like you. So on that, me and Mr. Stephens are in 100% agreement. The question is, how worried should we be about him getting back into office? I do not think we can write off those possibilities altogether. I simply do not. We do need to be worried about it. We don't need to be panicking and wetting our pants over it, but it is something that we need to be aware of is a real possibility. And we need to make sure that we do what we need to do, educate people the way we can to prevent Trump from getting back into the White House. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.